really want a 280 hertz tandem OLED, but one that's affordable. Whoa, and it's here. Gigabyte's MO27Q28G, a 280 hertz, 1440p, 27-inch tandem OLED monitor, flat, all for less than you might expect. Wow, this was really hard to get out of the box. It's upside down. Everything's nicely laid out here. We've got our big power brick, external, and then we've got a bunch of cables in this nice little bag here. USB-B, DisplayPort 1.4, HDMI 2.1, and our non-North American power plug that we're gonna replace with a good old-fashioned C13 cable. And we've got a handy-dandy color calibration factory report. What does it tell us? sRGB delta E of 0.59. That's really good. We measured higher than that, but we did measure something very, very, very accurate, so we'll tell you about it more later. We've got the base of our stand here. The columns are pretty small, but it's a 27-inch monitor. This is probably more than enough. I'm expecting this to be plenty sturdy. Okay. And then we've got the other half of our stand, which is like, honestly, I think that's the first time I've actually dropped anything on camera. Seriously, 5 years it almost took me. Crazy. Yeah, those really are almost comically small columns. Like, will this work? Absolutely. But are you getting what you pay for? 100%. They thought, you know where we can save 2 pennies. Actually, I really like the nice grippy bits here too, all these feet. And I like how kind of low profile and, you know, small this footprint is. But let's get our panel attached. That's what you guys care about. But before we do, cable clip for your cables, just to keep them nice and tidy on the stand. That's all that's in the box. Wow, this is also, I think, a first. I don't know if I've ever seen like this high grade of a wrapper. There's also like desiccant. Yeah, that feels like a desiccant pack taped to the inside. So they're really worried about moisture with this thing. I don't know, I've never seen that in my life. But then now that we've got it out of our weird freezer bag, we're just gonna pop it in, click, clack, and pull it out. As much as I'm okay with curved monitors when it comes to something either ultra wide or bigger than 27 inches, I have really been enjoying unboxing monitors that are flat. They're just so easy to take out of the box, and the box is so small. There we go. Wow. Oh, you gotta see this. Dominating the game. Belle thinks it's weird that the stand is so small. I do agree, it looks kind of small, but like, it's not, come on, man, it's not knocking over. Like, what?
Jesus.
It's fine.
There was real fear there, though.
No, there wasn't. I was sure of it. We'll take this off, we'll peel off. That has been reapplied. Yours won't come looking that bad, I promise. It'll look a lot nicer. It can pivot.
Ooh.
And it'll do it just barely.
Yeah, I don't think it technically does it, though. Oh,
yeah, it does. No, it pivots.
Yeah,
You just have to tilt it up a little bit and it's got enough space. You can't pivot the other way. It's only gonna go clockwise. So if you wanna put it on like this side of your monitor, then you're gonna have actually not that much of a bezel to deal with. Sometimes there's this ugly chin here, but it shouldn't be too bad. I will say the monitor stand is so light that it feels like I'm like, normally I can move these monitors around no problem. I think that's why they added those rubber feet for extra protection. You know, there's tilt and it can even swivel a little bit.
Just a little bit.
It's pretty typical. It's also got a bunch of height adjustment. And so I will say the monitor stand definitely feels flimsy, but how's the monitor look? We've got our earphone jack. I'm surprised I call it earphones instead of headphones, but we've got our earphone jack, HDMI 1 and 2, both 2.1 ports. And then we've got our DisplayPort 1.4, USB Type-C, USB-B, a couple of USB-A ports, and our power adapter. We've also got our navigational controls here with the nubbin and a couple of little buttons. I am a big fan of when they include little directional buttons. The nubbin is great. It'll do left, right, up, down, whatever. But you very seldomly you might press it in while trying to press it to the left or something. So it's a minor feature, but I'm actually really happy to see them here. Let's get this reassembled and turned on to check it out, but not before a word from our sponsor.
Oh snap! If you play things like Fortnite Mobile or you do any cloud gaming on your phone, you might want to check out the MCon. Just snap it onto the back of your phone, connect via Bluetooth, and you are good to game. You get Hall effect triggers and full-size thumbsticks for better precision and comfort, and when you're done, you fold it up, put it in your pocket, no fuss, no mess. Plus, it works with basically any phone. So check out the Switchblade of mobile phone controllers today at the link in the video description.
Something we just noticed as we put it down is it's got these like little, I don't know, markers on the bottom of the display. I don't think I've ever seen that. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just a design choice that's within the bezel. It's not gonna affect anything on the screen, but it's neat and a little weird. It's beautiful. The bezel, especially on the bottom, is a bit thicker than I was expecting. Not the end of the world. However, this does not feel like 280 hertz. 279.96 hertz. Not quite 280. It's ever so slightly off. That's fine. This is basically 280 hertz. It doesn't really matter. Oh, also, one interesting thing I just noticed, Windows is reporting this thing, where was it? 1,532 nits. Now that is what they claim on the box. And with Tandem OLED, we've seen these panels reach that height. However, our testing revealed that this one does not quite meet the claim. And I think we measured a max of about 1,400 nits, and it was in a mode that you don't typically want to use. The others measured something more like 1,350. It's a pretty minor trade-off, to be fair. For a lower price, you can lose like 100, 150 nits, and it's probably fine. Let's take a look at our OSD first. Gaming, what do we got? Super resolution. Low input lag set to on. That's another talk point that we'll talk about later. HDR peak 1500. Yes, please. Set to 100 brightness. So yeah, we did crank this thing and just can't quite do it. That's okay. It gets pretty close. KVM Wizard, you can set that to the USB-B or the Type-C cable. Just helps you run multiple devices through one set of USB ports, which is really handy for a lot of people. Not me, and I don't really care, but you know, you're paying a little less for a monitor and you're getting a little more. We've also got PIP, PVP, that's great. Audio, volume, you know I gotta try it. I think this thing has speakers. It does have speakers. Hot diggity damn. Are they good? No, they're okay.
I don't know if I'd say they're okay.
Zero bass, but you know, that's a monitor.
It's happening. We're getting smart glasses.
It's not perfect. Definitely sounds pretty tinny and not ideal, but look, these are for if you have nothing else. And I have been in situations where I'm out of headphones, they've broken or something, and I need audio from my computer. I'll take that. Over nothing, I'll take it every time. That looks incredible. Thanks to Tandem OLED, this thing is seeing 84% of BT 2020, which is a ton of color volume. On top of that, while it's not as bright as it should be, it's accurate. We measured in sRGB mode a delta E average of just 1.39 with a max of 2.97. It's pretty solid. And then in HDR, we measured a delta E ITP average of a little over 7 with a max of under 14. That is really solid. Is it picture perfect for the most premium of color work jobs? No, but like, this is incredible. Ugh. HDR with the right display is just absolutely phenomenal. The highlights in a game that does it right, it looks so good. At this point, one of the big advantages to QD OLED still over Tandem OLED is the color shifting and just how incredible the viewing angles are from literally any angle. And I've got to say, it's not until I get like way off axis that this starts looking way too blue. But like, I don't know, I could watch it from here. I could watch someone game from here and be like, yeah, I understand what's going on. It looks reasonably fine. So don't worry about that, because most of the time you're gonna be sitting like this anyway. Come on.
Your little brother's gonna have a good time watching you.
Yeah. With OLED's microsecond pixel response times, it just, every time feels incredible.
It looks really good. From here, the gun looks so good. Right?
The shine, the glinting on the barrel, the reflection and everything, like, God, and then the like everything is just incredible with this thing. So that's the kind of absolutely wild part of this is, you know, a few years ago, a 280 hertz 1440p OLED of any kind, Tandem OLED or otherwise, would set you back quite a lot of money, like over $1,000 easy. And I'm happy to say today that while this isn't, you know, the $500 that I saw when I initially saw that article back in like August, people did get it for an introductory price of $550, and then it's currently at MSRP of $599. And so this thing will definitely go on sale at some point, and when it does, you know, just pick it up. Like, yeah, okay, sure, it only hits 1350, 1400 nits, but like, I don't care. I really don't. That looked amazing. Did you see the little like explosive shining on him? Like, oh my God. Yeah, I think that like, it doesn't matter what displays I have at home. It doesn't matter what I've unboxed so far this year. I think that at this price point, unless there's a very specific feature that you need that this panel has in another monitor from a different brand, maybe then pick it up. But like, unless someone makes something better and cheaper than this thing, this is it. I don't care that the stand is a little flimsy. Put it on an arm, whatever. Now, realistically, I'm someone who went from 1440p ultra wide, which is about 5 million pixels, up to 4K just this last year. And, you know, yeah, sure, 4K, even at a 32-inch screen size, looks a little sharper, I won't lie. But my games are also way harder to run. And so I think that 1440p is still like the sweet spot for gamers. There you have it. Gigabyte's MO27Q28G. I absolutely hate the name. I wish the numbers and letters were kind of all together, but the monitor itself, I think it's a really solid value, and you're gonna be hard pressed to find a better deal than this thing. And if you do find a better deal than this thing, then man, times are looking good for PC gamers who want to splurge just a little bit on a fancy monitor. I'm Plouffe, this is ShortCircuit. If you want to look at another ShortCircuit, look, Colton's unboxing a chair. We can watch it together.
Okay.
See you later.